So, all right, the first thing we have to do now is we need to make a directory. All right, we open our terminal here. So let's make a directory. Let's call it Go Scraper. Yeah, you can call it any name you want. So let's call it Go Scraper. All right, so we have to see the inside that directory now. Inside Go Scraper, the directory we just created the other time. So then what is the next thing we have to do? We need to open this folder inside our VS Code. So I'm going to be using VS Code as my own code editor. So you can use any code editor of your choice. So I'm going to be using VS Code. So I have opened this folder now inside my VS Code. So what next I have to do is I have to make a file. That is, I have to come here to create a file. I'm going to call it main.go. All right, so I'm going to call it main.go. It's still trying to create the file. Okay, so we have the file here. So I think I just have to let me clear some of these things out here. So I'm going to have a package here called package main. That's going to be the name of our package. All right, so there's one other thing I need to do. I need to run go mode init. Okay, go mode init, and I'm going to call it Go Scraper. So I'm going to call it Go Scraper here. So we already have this go mode init. You can see here now we have our mod file here. So inside this this package inside our main package, we need to create a function. I'm going to say function here. Then let's call it main. Right, let's call it main. So let's leave this guy here blank for now. All right, so but let's come here down. Let's create a new folder. So let's call this folder maybe Scraper. Let's call it Scraper. So inside this our folder, that is where we are going to be performing the magic. So it's inside this our folder. That is where we are going to be, performing the magic. But before we do that, let me show you the website we want to scrape. I told you the other time that we need to scrape a website. So before we proceed, let me show you the website we want to scrape. It's just let's say complete. The name of the website is completesports.com. So this is the website we need to scrape, completesports.com. I just quickly want to show us. So and then we want to scrape. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down here, and then let me click on View All. So let me click on View All. I just want to show us. So we want to extract these data here. So these are the data we want to extract. We want to extract every news. Every latest news. These are World Cup news. So this particular website is what they do is that is a sport news website. You can come here and read news. So let's say, for example, you want to gather some data. You want to scrape this particular website. So I'm going to be showing you how this is just an example. So you can use the same method I'm going to use now in every other website you want to scrape. All right. So we want to scrape all this title, and then at the same time, so let me open the details aspect as well. So we want to scrape the details, all of these news here. We want to scrape them. We want to extract these data from this website. So that is what we want to do. All right. So this I'm trying to show us the website we want to scrape. All right. Now let's go back to our VS Code and let's proceed. So inside this scraper now, we need to create a new file. So let's call it scrape. Let's call it scraper as well. Scraper.go. That's the name of the file here. So our package here, we're going to call it package. We're going to call it scraper. All right. And then what is the first thing we need to do? Now we need to use the HTTP standard library of GOLANG. All right. To call that URL, this www.completesport.com, we need the HTTP, for us to be able to extract the body. We need the body of that website. So what did I mean by the body of the website? All of these are the bodies of this website. All of these things you are seeing here, we need to be able to get those, we need to be able to get all of this data as a response. So and how are we going to do that? We need the HTTP, yes, we need the HTTP. That is the standard Go library. So let's create a function here. And then let's call this function get response. All right. let's call it get response. So this function here is going to be accepting a URL. So it's going to be accepting a URL, which is going to be a string here. So then we'll come down here. We need to say response here. So response is equals to, and then we need to get an error as well. So response is equals to HTTP. We're going to say HTTP.get. All right, HTTP.get. So we need to import, if your VS Code is not directly importing this net HTTP, so what you just have to do is just that you need to manually import it. All right. So then what do we want to get? We want to get this URL here. So it is this URL here we want to get, because we are going to be passing a URL into this function here. Okay. So then the next thing we have to do now, we need to check if the error response is equals to null. So, and then what is the error we want to respond? We want to return in case if there is an error. Okay, let's say fmt.print. Okay, fmt.print, and then we're going to say error. Yeah, so we want to return an error, and then we need to exist this function in case if there is an error. So I'm going to say os.exist. Okay, so os.exist here. We need to import this os.exist as well. So what is the exist code? It's going to be 1. And then what are we now going to do with this response? So let's log out this response first for us to be able to see the response we are getting. So let's say print, then let's pass this response here. Okay, so let's pass this response here. So we are going to the response, we want to log out the response that we are getting, all right, from this URL. Okay, now let's proceed. So then what is the next thing we have to do? Let's declare a variable here. Let's call this guy response data. Okay, and then error as well. So we are going to use, it's going to use this il.read all. We need to read all now. We want to read all the body, the response.body that we are getting. All right. So then what is the next thing we have to do? We have to check if the error is not equals to null as well. So if error is not equals to null, then what we want to do? We need to say log here dot fatal. Okay, then we print out the error. So what fatal here is does is that it's going to stop our server from running and print out the error in case if there is an error. So then what do we want to do next? So this function as well needs to return this response dot body. So what are we going to do? We need to that response dot body is in byte. All right, it's a typed byte. So we have to put it here, and then what is the next thing we have to do? We are going to say return response data. Okay, this is all it needs to do. So this particular function, I'm taking my time to explain so that you're able to understand what this function is doing. It's just calling that URL. The URL of the website we want to scrape is we are going to pass it into this function, in which I'm going to be showing us very soon. Okay, now, so what is the next thing we have to do? So the next thing we have to do now is that we need to create another function that we, that is going to pass that URL, all right, into this response. And don't forget, let's go back to that website. That is something that here I want to show you guys. This guy here have a kind of pagination, all right, and we don't want to scrape only this first data here alone. We want to make sure that our function that we're going to create has that ability and that potential to be able to navigate through this particular website. So once we scrape the first page, we want it to automatically navigate to the second page, third page, fourth page, and just like that. So we have the pages here are over 6,000 plus. So as you can see, so we want our functions to be able to perform that particular task. So how are we going to do that? So it's just very simple. All right. So let's come back here. We need to create another function. So let's say function here. All right, and then let's call it the name of the function should be open website or entry point. Let's call it entry point. All right, because this is going to be our entry point. So, and then what are we going to do now? We need to define a variable URL. Okay, so and then what is that URL? We're going to say fmt, okay, dot sprint sprintf, yes, smt dot sprintf. Then we are going to say that HTTPS. Okay, the name of, okay, let's just come here and copy the website, not to waste our time. Let's navigate to this second page, and then let's see the URL. You know, yes, you can see now, this is the URL. You know, when we navigate to the second page, something happens there. This page here changed to 2 because we are on the second page. So if we are on the first page 2, this page number here is going to change to 1. So this is the guy we need to copy. Okay, so then let's come here, and then we need to paste this here. Then we need to change this to, let's put a placeholder here, which is going to be an integer here. And then we need to say we want to start from page 1. Okay, just keep following me. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to be able to, anytime we want to start our server, all right, we want to be able to pass that exact page where we want this script to start. Maybe we want to start from page 2, we want to start from page 3, we want to start from page 4. We want to be able to pass it into our server. What did I mean? Let's say, you know, the normal way to start a what's it called now, a GOLANG app is you say go run main.go, or your, depending on your entry point. So anytime we want to run go run main.go, we want to pass the page number we want this data to start from. Don't worry, you understand what I'm trying to say anyway, in case you don't get it, you are going to understand. So let's do something now. Let's define another variable here, and let's call it previous URL. Previous URL is going to be a string. Okay, so here now, what do we need to do? We need to say that okay, variable now. So let's declare another variable. Let's call it start number. All right, so we don't need, it's going to accept the 2 variables, but we don't need the other one, which is the error. So let's say string converts. Okay, we're going to say string converts converts. All right, so dot ATOI. All right, and then we want to pass in an argument here. We're going to say os arguments. Okay, arguments, then 1. All right, so what are we trying to do? You will soon understand what we are trying to do here. Don't just worry. Okay, there is a mistake here. I don't need to declare a variable here. So okay, so what's the next thing we have to do now? We have to create a for loop. So because it is this for loop that will help us to, you know, navigate around this website. All right, so we're going to say for I. All right, for I, you know, is equals to this for I is equals to start number. So this start number, it is what we are going to be passing from our terminal when we want to start this this particular application. So start, all right, and then I'm going to say if I here is less than, come on, if I is less than 10. Let's just say we want to stop at 10. For example, you know, we have over 6,000 plus page, but for the sake of this tutorial, I just want to stop at 10. All right, and then we want to increase that I. We're going to say I plus plus. Okay, and then here is where we're going to be, you know, looping through the website. We're going to say response now. So response is equals to, this is where we need to get our get response, because we need to pass our URL here. You can see this is our URL here. We need to pass this URL to this particular function. So I'm going to say URL here. Don't forget, this function is returning a byte. All right, so we are saving that byte inside this response here. All right, so let's proceed. Then we need to say href here is equals to fmt. Let's just copy this guy for the sake of time. Fmt here. Then we'll save this here. Then what are we going to be doing here? We need to pass I here. All right, it is this I we need to pass here. Okay, and then the next thing we have to do again is that we're going to say that if, so what we want to do is that if this particular URL reach page 10, we want to stop running this particular application. All right, this scripting system, we want to stop it once it's reached page 10. So and how are we going to do that? So we just have to say if previous URL, okay, if previous so let's change the condition now. If previous URL, okay, is equals to fmt, let's paste this guy again, fmt, then we need to pass 10 here. So anytime it reaches this URL here, all right, we want to stop our script. So we are going to say break. All right, we want to stop it here, and we're going to say s if it has not reached page s. All right, if it has not reached this particular page, we want to do something. I need to import this guy here. Let me import it. Import. So if it is not imported automatically, just do that manually. All right. So then else we want to say URL now is equals to this href we declare here, and then we are going to say previous URL again is equals to href. So this is going to help us to do what? This is going to help us to navigate, to look through the website, each of the pages. So once we get the data for the first page, automatically the system will take us to the second, to the third, to the fourth. See, when we get to page 10, we want to stop the loop. Okay, so you'll be wondering that what are we going to do with this response? All right, so we need to create another function here. Let's just give a space. So it is this function here that will be extracting those data. All right, so we are going to come down here and create a function. So what is function going to be? We are going to say function here. So let's call it extract data. That's the name of the function. Extract data. So this function is going to be receiving a response. It's going to be receiving a response. It's going to be a byte, type bytes. Okay. So and then here now we need to do something. So we need to pass this response inside this extract data here. I hope I'm not too fast, and I hope I'm not confusing you guys. So in case you have any question at this level, just drop your question in the comment section, and I'm going to take my time to answer every questions. All right. Okay. So we need to come here, and then we're going to say extract data. Extract data. Then we need to pass response here. Good. So now here at this response, we need a package here. We need a library which is called Go Query. So it is this Go Query that is going to help us to do what? So it's going to help us to extract those data. With the help of Go Query, it's going to really help us to scrape this particular data. So what we're going to do, we're going to say document here. Let's call it doc, and the error we're going to say is equals to Go Query. Now we need Go Query. So we need to install this library. So we need to install this particular library here. As you can see, it says library is not found. So I'm just going to come to Quick Feast, and I'm going to say I'm going to run go get package. All right, and I'm going to run this here for me to be able to get this Go Query package. So it's currently installing. You can see running to get Go package. It has gotten it. So what I'm going to do now is that we're just going to say Go Query dots. What do we need? We need new document from reader. That's what we need. So and then we're going to pass. This new document from reader. It's only accept this type io.reader, and don't forget here that the response we are getting, where is the guy again? So the response we are passing here is a byte. All right. So what do we need to do? We need to convert this guy to a string. So after converting it to a string, then we need to convert it again to io.reader. All right. So how are we going to do that? It's just very simple. We're going to say strings dot new reader. So the new reader, we're going to pass another. We're going to say string again. So we need to convert this response. We need to convert this response to string. So all right. So this is all we need to do. So here now, what's the next thing we need to do now? We need to check if there is an error. If there's an error now, we want to do what? Well, if error is not equals to nil, let's print out the error. So let's say log.print error. Okay. So we need to print out the error. So what is the next thing we have to do? Now, the next thing we have to do is that let's go back to that particular, this website we want to extract our data from. Now, what do we need to do? So, what we need to do is that, let me just see if I can close this advert, okay? So, what we need to do is that we need to inspect this guy. We need to check the HTML element that is holding this guy here. So, let's right click, then we click on inspect. So, having clicked on inspect, now you need to trace this container. This guy here is a container. I know this stage will be new to you. You should have learned all of this in your HTML class. So anyway, you just need to trace this container here. So which particular div here that is holding this container? We have to come here. We have to scroll up and check. So this is the guy here. When I hover on this guy, it's highlighting this particular container here. So it starts from this class SHAD. All right. So from SHAD, we have this content too. From content, we now have this H3 because we want to scrape, we want to extract the title, and then we want to extract this URL too because this URL is the one taking us to the next page, to the detailed page of that particular news. All right. Don't forget at the end of this tutorial, I said we want to extract the title here, and then we want to extract the news itself, the details page itself. So that's what we need to do. And we need to extract this URL. We want to extract this title. And then how we're going to do that, I've told you the other time. You need to check the container. So this is the container. Where is the guy again? Yeah, this is the div. the class shade. Then from the class shade, we move to item content. From item content, we move to item title. Then we now have access to our URL and our title. So how are we going to do that? It's just very simple. Okay, we need to say doc.find. Okay, we want to find those particular div. We're going to say div here. Dot. What is the class? The class name here is shad. Okay, so then we need to do another thing again. We're going to say div here dot item content. Okay, so and then we need to do another thing again. H3. Don't forget, all of these things I've gotten from this website here. You know, we have from shad to class item content to class h3 item title. So we need to follow through that way. So I'm going to say dot item hyphen title. Okay, and then I'm going to say dot ish. Now we want to extract every data that is inside this particular class. So we're going to say that we're going to declare that function here. Okay, so we're going to declare that function here. So what is going to be the function? The function is going to be index. Let's call this index dot integer here, and then instead of s, let's use item. Okay, then we have go query dot selection. Then inside this particular place is where we're going to be extracting our data from. Let me give more space. Okay, then we have to do something again now. What do we need to do? Let's say let's call this guy let's say anchor tag. I don't know. Let's call it a variable anchor. It's equals to the variable. Then wants to do something. We're going to say item.find. Item.find. Then what do we want to find? We need to find this. You know, this HTML element. This a tag is the one holding the URL and is the one holding the title. You see. Let's see the title. It says Spain will go all out against Morocco. So that is the title here. All right, and then we now have some little title saying Spain will go all out against Morocco. You know, that is the title. We need to extract that and then the URL. So we want to find this anchor tag, this a here. So we come here, we say a at this level. So what do we want to do? Let's say title now. Title, and then we don't need to check for error. Yeah, we don't need to. So I'm going to say anchor tag now. Okay, I call it. Let me put R here to make it anchor tag. Then anchor tag is going to be dots. What do we want to extract? We need attributes. Yeah, we need attributes. What is the attribute here? Which HTML attribute we want to get? We need to get the title first. This is it. Title is the one holding the title of this news. Yeah. So we need to get. We're going to say title. All right. So this guy is going to return is going to return two data to us. The first one is going to the two data type. The first one is going to be a string, and other one is going to be a boolean. So the boolean is also going to let us know if this data exists. What we are trying to this attribute, if it really exists. But I'm very sure it exists, so I don't need to check for that. So then we need to do another thing again. We need to say URL. We want to extract the URL. So let's come here, and then let's change this guy to URL. All right, let's call it news URL. News URL. All right. So what is the HTML element you want to extract here, which is the href? Okay. Let's come here and say href. Okay. Now, so having done that, so we need to log out some of these things here. All right. Because we need to log out some of these things here. Let me see. This guy here needs to equals to. Okay, so we need to log out something here. Let's log out the log.prints. Okay, we need to log the title, and then let's do something here again. Let's say log again dot prints. Let's do something. Let's just put in a separation so that we know the difference between the title and the URL. So then let's come here and copy this, and then let's paste this here. So and let's pass news URL. Yeah. So let's save now. So guys, this are everything we need to do to be able to extract. So here now we need to call the entry point inside our main.go. So we're going to say scraper now. Scraper. Scraper. I don't know why it's not importing it automatically. So scraper dot. We need to import this guy here. Imports. Okay, we need to import, what's the name of this module? We call it go scraper. Let's copy this, and then let's come inside our main.go here, and then import this guy. It's going to be inside this 2 slash scraper. Okay, so we are going to have scraper dot entry points. Okay, so this is what we need to call here, scraper dot entry points. So now let's go and start our let's start this our app now, and let's see what is going to happen. Let's clear this up here, and then let's say go run main .go. Yeah, so this is what we need to do. So let's wait. It says okay. Yeah, now look at what's happening now. We are getting an error here. Why? Because don't forget, inside our open website function, inside our entry point here, we need to inside our entry point here, we need to do something here. We need to we are passing an argument. Okay, inside our entry point, where is the guy again? Yeah, inside our entry point, we are passing an argument here. So, and this argument is being extracted from any time we want to start our server. So we want to, let's say for example, I want this page, we want the page to start from page 1. I'm going to pass 1 here. If I want to start from page 2, I'm going to pass 2 here. So I want it to start from 1. All right, go run main.go 1. So let's start it now, and let's see if we are going to be able to get our data. So let me see what we are getting here. We are not really getting the response we needed to get. It's returning 200, which is correct. Everything is okay. So, but let's see what is going on. So let's go back inside our code here, and then let's see what we are actually doing wrong here, and so that we can be able to correct that. So here is our entry point. Then we say extract data here. And then from extracting data, what are we trying to do? Okay, we are trying to extract this particular data here, and then to see if everything is working fine. Okay, so let's see what we are missing, and then we are saying get response. And we are trying to log it out here to check if we're able to get our data correctly. So let me remove this here. This is the log we are getting here. And then let me try to run the system again and see if you're going to get any response. Okay, so let's get back into our terminal here, and then we're going to say go run main.go here, and let's see if you're going to get any response. Okay, all right, so let's try and run it again and see if you are going to get any response. So we're going to say go run main.go, then we are not getting any response yet. So let's see what is going on. All right, let's see what is going on. Why are we not getting a response? So this is the data we want to extract. We are saying div.h. Okay, here should be content. Sorry, not amuse it here. So here should be div.item-content. So I'm going to save this guy, and then I'm going to come back here to rerun it now, and let's see if you are going to get any response. So as you can see now, we are getting, look at it now, we are getting the title, and then we are getting the URL here. Perfect. So this is we are already getting the title, and we are getting the URL, and you can see this guy is navigating through the website. All right, it's going through the website, and once it gets to page 10, we've already reached page 10, and that is why it stopped here. Okay, let me show you guys, so that you're going to see that it's really happening. So let's just come here and log let's just log this URL here, so that we're going to know that yes, something is really happening here. So let's print okay, the URL. So this place should be log.print.url here, and then this capital P. So we are going to see that our system is navigating through the website. So let me run it again, and then look at the URL, page 1. Then okay, so let me go through it again. I can see page 1 here the other time. Okay, maybe I should do previous URL. Let me do previous URL. Okay, let me save, and then let me stop this guy, and let me clear this again. I just want us to see that it's saying unsupported protocol scheme go run.main. Let's see again. Okay, sorry guys, so here should be URL. I wanted to log out something here. Should be previous URL. So let's come back here. That's why we're getting this error. So let me clear this there. Let's run it again. So we should be able to get a response now. So as you can see, we are getting a response already now. So I want to show us that this guy is navigating through those URL. I don't know why he's not console logging that URL so that we can see. I just want to show you guys that yes, this guy is navigating through the website. So once it gets to page 10, it's going to stop. All right. Once it gets to page 10, it's going to stop. I don't know why it's not showing us here, or maybe I have to do it inside. Maybe I have to do it inside this loop here. Let me change this guy to href. I just want to show us. Okay, let me clear and then let me run again. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, we are having this here. Look at page 3. We are in page 3 now. This is page 4. So yeah, page 5 already. So I'm just trying to show us that what we've been able to do, we've been able to navigate through. So easily we can, navigate through over 6,000 pages on this website that we are trying to scrape. So once it gets to that particular page 10, it's going to stop, because that's the function we give here. So let's just assume you want to scrape all of the 6,000 pages. We just have to come here, you just have to put 6,000 here, and then in your 10 here, you have to pass your 6,000 here. But we are not going to do that now. So, but there is one more thing we need to do. Now, we've been able to extract this URL here. We've been able to extract this URL. This URL is what contains the what? It is the one that contains the details page. Let's go back to the browser here, and then let me show us here. So this is the details page. All right, and don't forget, we need the data in this details page as well. So, and how are we going to do that? It's just very simple. Just follow the same process. That same process that we use to get this title, that's the same process we are going to use to extract the what? To extract the details. So, how are we going to do that? We need to create another function now. So let's call this function extract details. Okay, let's create a function and let's call it extract details this time around, or let's call it extract news details. Okay, so this guy is going to be accepting what? It's going to be accepting the URL, so which is going to be a string at the same time. Then what we need to do, let's just come here for the sake of time and copy what we've done here. Where is the guy again? Yeah, here we just need to copy everything we have here. So let's copy everything we have here and then let's paste here. So once we've been able to do that, so this URL here now, okay, we are going to be passing this URL from this particular function here, because this is the URL we need. We need the system to be able to navigate to this URL here and extract those data that is in this URL. Okay, so what are we going to do? We just have to come down here. Then we need to say extract news data. Then we need to pass our news URL here. News URL. So then here now we need to do something. We need to say response here. Okay, response is equals to get response. Then we need to pass URL. Okay, so we need to pass this URL, and then from here what we need to do is that. So from here what we need to do is that after passing this URL here, we need to extract the data. So what's the data we need to extract? So let's check this guy here and let's inspect this here, and then we need to see the data we need to extract. So look at these data here. They are in this our particular data here. All right, and then we have this here as well. So they are all in this p tag, but we need to find the entry point. So which div is holding all of these news? So we need to check that particular div, and let's look at it together. So this is the div. Post dash body is a class, is the name of this particular class here that's holding all of our news together. Then we move down to this post dash body, all right, dot inner. So inside this post body dot dash inner, is the one holding all our p tags here. So it's just very easy to extract. I mean, very, very easy. So what we need to come here is that let's change this guy here to post, okay, post dash body, okay, and then we need to change this here as well to post, okay, dash body, okay, dash inner, okay, and then that's all we need to do. So we don't need this title here. Let's put it here correctly. So what we now have to do is that let's remove these guys here. Let's remove all of this here, and then let's call this guy the text or news text. Okay, let's call it news text. Okay, so news text, and then we need to find p tag here, and what do we want to get from p tag? We want to extract the text from it. So yes, that's all we need to do. And then here we need to now log out our news. This is all we need to do to be able to extract the details page. So let's save now and let's see if everything is working fine. Let's come back here. Let me clear my terminal here to be able to see. Let's run main.go. All right. So and then let's see the magic now. See, as you can see now, we are having our details page here already. So let's go back here and then let's see what is currently going on. So here we have the title here. Look at it. This is the title, and then this is the news. Now look at the title here. It says England trash Senegal to set up quarter-final. All right. Let me just make it bigger. Good. So look at it here now. Sterling returns to England after armed intruder broke into his home. This is the full story. This is the details. This is all of the full story. We've been able to extract it out. Okay, then come here again. Look at this title as well. This is the title of this news. This is the details of all the news. So guys, we've been able to extract the. Let's go back to that website now and check for ourselves. Okay, so let me close this here. Here, this is the news. All right, and then we've been able to extract the title. Having extracted the title as well, we've been able to do the same thing. We'll be able to extract the news details here. So guys, this is how you can extract websites data, all right, and make use of these data depending on what you want to do with the data. Let's say, for example, now you want to save this data we're extracting now. If you want to save it into your database, you can go ahead and save it to your database. If you want to save it into a CSV file, you can as well go ahead and do that. So this is all we need to do to be able to scrape websites. But at the same time, I'm going to stop this tutorial here because there are some websites that they are being loaded from JavaScript. Okay, so there are some websites that are being loaded from JavaScript that you need Selenium to be able to scrape those particular data. So in my next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can use Selenium with GOLANG. So, and if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification button as well, so that anytime I upload interesting videos like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your time to watch this video. So in my next tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how the part 2 of this video and how you can scrape data using Selenium. So guys, thank you so much. See you guys in my next video. Bye for now.